Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. In a world filled with endless opportunities, why would two men who have built 13 multi-million-dollar businesses altruistically invest 5 hours per day to teach you the best practice business systems and moves that you can use? Because they believe in you, and they have a lot of time on their hands. They started from the bottom, now they're here. It's the Thrivetime show starring the former U.S. Small Business Administration's Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark, and the entrepreneur trapped inside an optometrist's body, Dr. Robert Zoellner. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses.
We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here.
Mr. Clark started from the bottom, and now we're at the top, teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of 5, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the CNC up on your radio, and now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we're here.
Doing the bullpens, feeling the floor.
You smell like a winner. You mind? You smell like you are.
Yes, and yes. So we are in the air everywhere, and joining me today is my longtime client and friend, Steve Currington of stevecurrington.com. Steve, you provide mortgages in all 50 states. Is that correct?
I do the home loans.
And how long have you been a client of mine?
December of 15. So that puts it like, I think December of this year will be like, I don't even know how to do that math.
8 years.
Like 7, 8 years. Yeah.
And, we have referred a lot of people to you over the years at stevecurrington.com. I know of at least, I would say, a dozen people that I know directly that have used your services. And so if you're listening today and you're looking for a mortgage in all 50 states, that's what Steve does. Now, Steve, we're going to go to thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire. So anybody out there who's listening right now, if you want to follow along, you go to thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire. You can download my newest book called A Millionaire's Guide to How to Become Sustainably Rich. You can download the book, A Millionaire's Guide, How to Become Sustainably Rich. And Steve, when you say sustainably rich, or when I say sustainably rich, have you met people through the mortgage application process that are seasonally rich?
Yeah.
What does that mean in your mind to be seasonably rich versus sustainably rich?
I would say it's just a temporary thing. I mean, sometimes people do real well. They spend a bunch of money and then the bottom falls out, or they have a problem and then they're fire selling all their stuff. And however, I will tell you, I kind of appreciate a person that goes to the bottom after having a lot of success and comes back. You know what I mean? Because there's something to be said about that.
You like the art of the rebound.
Yeah, like, if you can lose everything and then make it back, then that's better than never taking a risk and never losing anything. But I can tell you that for sure, I think Clay is sustainably rich, because just as I was getting ready to come on the show, I found these like wads of ones over there.
$19.
And I found $19. And I was like, Clay, I'm going to organize this for you. And I almost added $1 to it. So it's an even 20. But
I appreciate you doing that. What we're going to do on page 21 of the book called A Millionaire's Guide, How to Become Sustainably Rich. I'm going to read to you from that page. It says, I've written this book with the stated goal of providing people with the world's most powerful and efficient business book ever, while at the same time demonstrating my business humbleness. This book provides you with a step-by-step guide that you can refer to time and time again that will serve you as your virtual business GPS and navigation system. You see, back in the day, before global positioning systems had become a reality, had become available on every smartphone, and before I had enough disposable cash to fill up the gas tank whenever I wanted, I used to get so lost that I would occasionally run into Yoda and every other wise hermit seeking to escape the world by moving to the outskirts of humanity. You ever been lost, Steve, without a GPS, where you're out there and you run into someone like Yoda or some other hermit and you say, remember back before GPS?
Yeah.
And you say, hey, where's the restaurant? Because you're supposed to meet somebody there.
Yep. You got your pager and you're checking it.
And you got a guy there at the gas station saying, well, I'll tell you what, you want to head out there to the tree, and you want to go
turn there.
Don't turn there now.
Keep going.
Now you want to go now. Head north, and you're like, I don't know where I'm at. Has that ever happened?
Yeah.
But once GPS came out,
with GPS.
well, GPS, the theory of it, the global positioning system, is it would tell you where you are on the globe and how to get from point A to point B, theoretically making it less likely to get lost often.
Yeah.
And what I have found is we have doctors, dentists, lawyers, online retailers, mortgage professionals that will listen to this show. And the main reason they listen to this show is they want to know where to go.
Yeah.
They just want to know what is the specific steps that I need to take. So what I wanted to focus on today is the Dream 100 system. Are you okay if we do that?
Yeah.
We're going to focus on the Dream 100 system. That's what we're going to do today, okay?
Right on.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, pull up my notes because I want everyone to be able to take notes with me. And I'll put the notes on today's show description. So not only can you watch on the screen as I take notes, but you can also download those on today's show description. So what we're going to do is we're going to define the Dream 100. The Dream 100 is a marketing system that will allow you to reach your ideal and likely buyers in a scalable and sustainable way. Now, Steve, you're in the mortgage business.
Yep.
So let's think about the mortgage business for a second. If I'm listening out there right now and I'm in the mortgage business, why would I want to learn how to master the art of the Dream 100?
Well, if you're a mortgage professional, then you probably want the top real estate agents that are in your market to refer clients to you for their financing. So that agent that is selling a large amount of real estate, you would want her to think about you and recommend you when she has someone who is wanting to purchase a home. And so to get in front of that person, you'd have to identify who those top producers are, who the ones are that are selling houses to a lot of people, and then get them to refer to you by chasing them like I did for Shaw Homes.
So let's talk about it again. So you're step one, you want to create a list of your ideal and likely buyers. You want to describe your ideal and likely buyer. Okay. So let's focus on mortgages for a minute. Who is the ideal and likely buyer for a mortgage at this point? Usually.
This would be someone who is increasing their family size. So they need to buy a new house. It could be someone that is, what do they say? Something like 60% of marriages end in divorce. So maybe it could be a divorce situation where husband and wife are moving out or getting divorced. And
would you say age 25 to like 65?
Yeah. I don't have a lot of data on this, but I do kind of feel like the people buying it, I bought my first house at 21, and we have a few of those, but I feel like
it's like 30.
The age, no, it's probably 25 is probably
45
good.
to like 60.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, you have to define who your ideal and likely buyer is. So not the perfect buyer, not the only buyer. There's other people that are outliers, but you want to define your ideal and likely buyers. So age 25 to 60 years old.
Yeah. And mainly when you're referring to a mortgage, because someone who's 25 typically has a job. Maybe they have,
okay, it's an employed person.
Yeah. They have a job. They maybe are married at that point. They've got a significant other. They might have kids. So they need a home,
Typically men or women reach out to you for the mortgage.
It's both,
male or female,
but yeah, it could be
okay.
Both.
All right. So you're looking for people that are ages 25 to 60 years old, male or female, that are they're an employed person, a married person, and someone who has a good credit score.
Yeah. And I would add they don't have to be a married person, but there is a trend of single people.
Yep.
That are buying houses. So it's like, certainly they could be single, but
how about this? A stable person, an emotionally stable person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know what percentage of people are emotionally stable now. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Jeez.
I don't want to get into that. That takes the show to a dark place.
I know. Let's not go there.
So now what you want to do now is, so we've identified who your ideal and likely buyers are. And again, folks, if you're looking to follow along, you can go to thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire, and you can download entire chapters about the Dream 100. It's all right there. Also, you can go to thrivetimeshow.com to get tickets to one of our in-person workshops. You could also go to thrivetimeshow.com/testimonials to see countless people that have implemented these systems as well, so you can see that. But let's talk again about this. So that now you want to define your ideal and likely referral sources.
Yep.
So who is most likely to interact with your ideal and likely buyers on a daily basis would be A, successful real estate agents.
Yep.
Now, Steve, I don't know if you know this. This is a little secret. We'll just keep between you and me and listeners. There are a lot of real estate agents.
There are not a lot of successful ones.
And listen, you're being negative. I'm just saying there's a lot of real estate agents. Am I correct?
Yeah, but let me say it this way, so it's not insulting anyone. There's a lot of real estate agents, but 10% of them do it for a living.
And then 90% are just getting the license and hanging out.
Yeah, they're selling one house a year, 0 houses a year, 2 houses a year, something like that.
So
And-
you don't want to market to people that don't sell a lot of houses.
right. And they're not bad people. I mean, I've
Yeah.
got plenty of agents that haven't been in the business long or have only closed a few transactions. But what I tell people is, if I am making the largest financial decision that I've ever made in my life, which is typically buying a house,
Yep.
The second to that would be your next house that you buy.
Right.
You just want to make sure you don't leave it to someone who's done zero. It'll just be probably painful.
It would
for
be
you.
a waste of your time to go talk to somebody and try to convince them, A, to learn how to sell houses, and B, if they do sell houses, to refer you.
Yeah. Now there are certain, I've had plenty of agents that were new, that were bulldogs when
Yeah.
it came to negotiating a
Okay.
contract. So it's not that everybody, just like anything.
I mean,
if I was having heart surgery, I wouldn't want the doctor who's like, hey, don't worry, I did one of these a couple years ago, because he's probably going to kill me.
you wouldn't?
No,
I'm going to write that down.
I would go to the guy who was like, hey, count backwards from 10.
Yeah.
I'm doing 30 of these today. You're going to be fine. Right. So it's just
Okay.
that experience is something that's important. So-
Now let's talk about it again. I want to make sure we're really getting this idea. You want to define your ideal and likely referral sources. Now, the second thing is the second group that refers you often, Steve, I would say would be as consistently successful home builders. Successful home builders. Now, successful home builders. Successful home builders. And I'm not attacking builders out there that build one house a year and they struggle to do that. I'm talking about people, though, that are consistently busy selling new houses. Why would you want to build a relationship with people that are consistently selling new houses, home builders?
Because there are people that are either going to their website, going into their model homes,
Yep.
that are walking through their neighborhoods or driving through their neighborhoods, that are looking for new construction homes. And just like a real estate agent, they would be a good referral source to send you somebody that needs financing.
Is it arguable that these are the two main likely referral sources for a mortgage professional, or is there another secret hidden group of that you'd want to
I have
market
two
to?
of them. And one of them is CPAs / financial planners. because-
Certified public accountants can refer you a lot of business. Okay, CPA / financial advisors.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and yeah, accountants.
Accounts. Certified public accounts.
Yeah. Whoa.
Excuse me. Do you have a certified public account? Yes. I would love it if you could refer me.
And then the
yeah.
other one is going to be, believe it or not, divorce attorneys. It's-
Divorce attorneys.
Remember,
Wow.
I told you, like,
Well,
the percentage of people get divorced, unfortunately. But
I feel like you're being pretty negative.
you know
right
what
there.
happens when people get divorced, though? They
What?
like a lot of times, like they sell the house and they each buy a house. So
I think you're. This is what they do. I see divorced people. They immediately lose a lot of weight,
oh yeah, that too.
and they tell
set
people
work
they don't
out.
care.
Yeah.
I don't even care about him.
Uh-huh.
I don't even care.
I'm
about
done.
him because my new boyfriend, who looks exactly like him, is not. I mean, that's just coincidence.
I know. Isn't that
Have you
funny?
seen that?
Yeah, that
I don't
happens.
even care about her because my new girlfriend, who looks exactly like her, that's who I care about.
Yeah,
Because I don't even think about her when I am dating the exact clone of her.
I did put a picture of her on my desktop, and when I was surfing the dating sites, I
Yeah.
did find someone who looks like her doppelganger.
And then they hit the gym.
Yeah.
Second step, they hit
Yep.
the gym hard. It's like, I'm going to hit that gym. I'm just going to eat ice. I'm going to eat ice and just get jacked. You know why? Because I didn't get in shape when I was married, because I'm not going to talk about that. But now that I am divorced, I'm getting in shape, baby.
Right
Because
on.
I'm going to go out there and find the exact clone of my ex.
Yep, and
Same personality.
Once I land that,
Yeah,
deal,
once I
I'm
land
going
the deal,
back
baby.
to the fatness.
There we go.
Back to the fatness. No more working out.
But I'm going to get jacked for that window of time after the divorce and before I marry the clone of my ex. Does that seem like it's the system?
That's about it.
Okay. So you want to define your ideal and likely referral sources. Now, Steve, let's go ahead and make a Dream 100 list. Okay. So I'm going to make one right now. I'm pulling it up. For many people, it helps to see these kinds of things. So I'm pulling it up on the screen here. All right. So column number 1, you want to put the name here. Name of the potential referral source. Okay. The potential referral source, right? The person's name. All right.
Yep.
Next, you want to put that phone number in there. Oh, you want that phone number. Okay. Now, next thing you want to do is you put the name of the business or name of the organization. Okay. Name of the organization. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to write down their hot button. Okay. The hot button of the person you talked to. Then the last time you talked to them, last time you contacted this organization, and the status of referrals, yes or no. Now, let me hit this little snazzy button here so we can see it all. Steve, why would you want to consistently have the name of the referral source? Why would you not want to call and go, hey, is this You?
Yeah.
Great guy.
I don't know. Like, it's weird when people trying to get someone to refer you business when you can't remember their name.
And that's happened, though, has it not?
Yeah.
People call me all the time. And they're like, Mark, I love your show. I listen all. I'm serious. This happens all the time. They go, Mark, I love your show. I do. Mark, I listen all the time. That one show you did about the thing. Mark, anyway, happens all the time.
Yeah.
And I go, well, what do you want from me? And they go, well, I'd like it if you'd refer me to all your listeners, Mark, because your show, it is hot. The Thrivetime show. Mark. No, I'm serious. This happens a lot.
That's awesome.
All the time. You see it, don't you?
Actually, to be honest with you, I actually thought your name was Mark for like a long time.
You
for
know,
like my first 2 years, I thought you were Mark Clark.
But I mean, how often? By the way, Mark Clark was a reliever who made an outstanding income. Are you aware of that?
No.
He was an Indians pitcher. Mark Clark was an Indians pitcher. No, this is a real story. And he
Is
went
it
on.
your brother from another mother?
No, listen. Mark Clark was a pitcher who went on to somehow make a baseball career out of basically being a middle reliever. Let me see. Mark Clark, Indians pitcher, net worth. Mark Clark. Let me pull this up. Net worth. Let me see. Net worth. He was a pitcher for the Indians. Oh, it's so good. Someone doesn't like him here. Someone wrote an article about him that's not positive. Shocking. But his career was he played as a pitcher. And there he is. Look at this article. Lucky stiff retired big league pitcher Mark Clark was no star, but he got paid like one, and now he's living the good life with all the toys to prove it. Do you remember Mark Clark?
I don't know. I've never heard of him, but I thought that was you.
He played 10 major league seasons and had no all-star games, yet he actually earned close to $20 million. Way to go, America.
Jeez.
Way to go, Mark Clark.
$20 million.
Seriously, are you not familiar with this guy, Mark Clark?
No, that's significantly more than the $19 you have on the table over there.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. So one, you want to define your ideal and likely referral source. So we'll just call this real estate company A. And don't a lot of real estate companies throw an adjective in front of their organization like elite real estate.
Yeah, it'll
elite.
Be like the elite real estate team of Keller Williams.
Elite real estate team. And that would be the name of the organization, right? But not the person. But the person is like Mark Clark, right? Mm-hmm. And you're going to want to, why do you want to organize the phone number? Why would you want to save the phone number and not just keep this on your mind?
The only phone numbers you memorize are the ones for the people you need to call if you're like in jail. So like if I was in jail and I only had one phone call, I want to remember like, my wife's number, but otherwise put their number on there.
And then what you'll do is you want another hot button. Like this is something that they're excited about. Now, if you go, you're Mark Clark, you used to be a former MLB player.
Yeah.
You were a former Major League Baseball player. Wow. Mark Clark. Well done. I had no idea who you were. You earned $20 million. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow. And so you'd want to save that information. Then you want to say, when was the last time you contacted that person? And Steve, I recommend that you talk to your Dream 100 contacts once a month. Why would you want to talk to them once a month?
So you stay top of mind. And they're thinking of you because people drift and they get busy and they forget. And then some other guy rings their phone and they forget they were in love with you and they stop sending you business.
And then you have to ask, are they referring you? Yes or no? Let's say that Mark is referring you. So now you make him green because now he's referring you. Now I'm going to tell people this. There are 5 steps to reaching out to an ideal likely buyer. Someone could say 20, some could say 50, but I'm just going to go over the 5. Okay. Step 1, they don't know who you are. Steve, you call them and they say, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
This is like they're oblivious to your existence phase.
Yeah.
They have no idea that you exist. And it's very important that you understand that they don't know who you are and they don't care.
They're confused. Wait.
They don't know you exist. That's step 1.
Oh, we had this graphic on the wall, didn't we?
Step 2, though, they start to say, you know what? I'm curious as to why you keep following up. They're kind of going, this happens. You're always reaching out to me. And I'm kind of like, what?
Yeah.
Then step 3, they kind of go, you know what? You consistently reach out and I'm kind of starting to trust you a little bit here.
Yep.
Now, step 4 is they are referring you business. They're referring you business. And step 5 is now they are what you would call, my friends, a Dream 100 home run. And Steve, this is the process, and we can call it all different names, different processes, and different ways to describe this, but this is so important. Nobody wakes up with a burning desire to refer you business unless What?
Nobody wakes up with a strong desire to revisit, period. They just need to know. Like, I don't know anybody that's like, oh my God, I can't wait to call Steve on Saturday. And like,
so you have to reach out to people that don't know you exist.
Yep.
And you check the box. You say, you know what? On the 10th, the first day of October, I called them. I didn't know I exist. Okay, there we go. That's we're starting there.
Do you remember this? This was on the wall at the old Thrive. Confused, upset, curious. Then they have some respect for you. Then they're interested. Then they buy. Then they're loyal, right?
I would say this again. They don't know you exist.
Yep.
When they're kind of curious, I would argue they're a little bit upset though. Like, why are you calling me all the time?
Yeah.
Right?
Like, who are you again?
But then at some point you earn a little bit of respect with these people.
Yep.
And again, I'm not going to quiz people. I'm just saying this is the process you're going through. Okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, so then once you get past, when you call them the second time, Steve, they're usually now going, what do you want?
Yeah.
And you have to explain to these people why it's a benefit to them to refer you.
Yep.
So Steve, why is it a benefit for anybody to refer you? Why would you have so many real estate agents that refer you all the time now? Why?
Well, unfortunately, the point of differentiation for me, and I say it's unfortunate because it's kind of sad that this is it, right? Is I answer my phone. And when you're a real estate agent and you're out showing a house on a Saturday and your client now likes the house and you realize, oh, they're not pre-approved and they need a pre-approval so that we can submit an offer.
Yep.
You want to be able to dial the phone and get a lender on the phone that's going to answer. And unfortunately, even during business hours, a lot of lenders just don't answer their phone. So they send them to voicemail. So the biggest reason people call me is because they know they can count on me answering the phone and being available when they need me.
And I talked to someone the other day, true story. They told me, they said, you know what? A lot of times when we're showing a new house, we'll call Steve first because we know he will pick up the phone.
Yep.
So that's a big thing. So again, Dream 100 though. Step 1, you have to make the big list of your ideal and likely buyers. Step 2, make a list of the ideal and likely referral sources. Who's likely to refer you? Don't waste your time on people that are not likely or organizations not likely to refer you. Then you got to reach out to these people. And this just in, they won't know you exist.
Yep.
Step 2, they're going to be a little upset that you followed up. Step 3, if you can establish right here, Steve, if you can establish a win-win where you like, hey, every time you refer me, I can pay you a commission. In your industry, you can't do that. Some industries you can. Okay. So if you can't pay them a commission, maybe you say, hey, I'll pay for your ongoing education event in Hawaii. If you can't do that, maybe you answer the phone the fastest. Therefore, it helps them close more deals. There's got to be some win-win, and you keep track of that now. So now we're doing that now. Month 4, you're hoping they're referring you.
Yep.
And if they're not referring you, you have to ask the question, hey, what do I need to do to get you to refer me?
Yeah.
You have to ask that question. And if you do it right, Steve, people will refer you. Now, once somebody refers you and you go, boop, boop, I'm getting referrals all the time, you have to stay in touch with this person over and over and over. Why, Steve? Why can't you just set it and forget it, baby? You sowed all the seeds. You dropped by all the gift baskets. You hopped in a car and went with a person to Michigan. You've done everything you needed to do. You've loved them. You've hugged them. They refer you all the time. But if you don't constantly pet the cat, if you don't constantly give them a hug, if you don't constantly water the lawn, if you don't constantly pull the weeds, if you don't constantly change the oil, what happens over time?
Well, I'll tell you what Dr. Green told me a long time ago. Hug your daughter or some man will.
Oh,
So
yeah.
It's the same thing with your referral sources. If you're not showing them love and getting in front of them, there's a guy out there that's got a Dream 100 and they're on his list.
Right.
And so you want to make sure that they're not calling. Let me give you a real world example of how this works. And so this is phone, right?
Yep,
but
phone.
In person, this has happened to me. I walk into a real estate office. There's always a gatekeeper, right? Clay, there's someone at the front desk. And
Do you say a gatekeeper or a gatekeeper?
that too. They
Okay.
could. They could. In
Well,
fact,
a lot of people wanted to know, and I just wanted to ask you. That would be clarified. We can continue.
But you walk in and you're like, "Hey, I'm Steve Currington," and they're confused. They're like, "Excuse me, who are you? Like, what do you want?" And you're like, "Oh, I'm Steve Currington. I'm a lender." And they're like, "Oh, well, we don't really let anybody hand anything out, but if you want to give me some of your stuff, I'll go put it in their mailbox.
Give me a snack pack. I'll get it to it."
Yeah, and I'm like, "Okay." So you leave your stuff. Well, the next time that you come in, then they're like upset, right? Because didn't I tell you the last time that you can't
came
go
out with
back
your
there?
delicious snack
And
pack
I went
last
ahead
time.
and put all your flyers in their mailboxes. And if you'd like to leave some more with me, then I would go ahead and put those in there. And then the next time you come in, they're curious because they're like,
We've
this
told
is
you.
like the third time you've come in here. Like,
There's that moment there where it goes from it becomes a great relationship, or really bad.
Yeah.
And what I find is as it trends really bad, because they go, stop coming in here. Then what you need to do is go, what do I need to do to generate a win-win? I want to win your business. What do I need to do?
Right.
And it's at that moment, it's that recovery.
Yep.
They shove you off the cliff. And if you're quick enough to put on the parachute on the way down, you save that relationship.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that just happens, especially when there's a gatekeeper, is they just get to know you. And then it's different. I've had that exact situation go where 3-4 months down the road, I'd walk in and wave at Nancy and walk right past her desk and go right to the mailboxes and drop the flyers. And then I'd walk around the office and say hi to agents, because then she knew me. She knew I wasn't a weirdo. Well,
I want to be, there's a couple of things I want to be clear that I think there's some confusion from our listeners out there. Are you saying gatekeeper when you get past the gatekeeper? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. If you can imagine, there's like a,
no, I don't want to. I want to, I want to give this biblical, baby.
I'm just,
and then
like, this particular place, they had a cage. Okay. And
that's where they keeper. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, they kept all the gay people.
Gatekeeper. Okay. Now the second is you said you walk past the gatekeeper to get to all the Asians.
Yes.
Are you only? I mean,
it's like Oklahoma dialect.
Are you
real estate agent?
Are you only marketing to Asians?
No, I mean I will
discriminate against the whites.
No,
you don't work with whites.
No. My loans don't discriminate against anybody. But
okay, well, I'm sure
some agents are Asians.
Okay,
but not all agents
for a moment there, I thought you were saying the moral of the story was if you can get past the gatekeeper, you'll be able to get to the Asians. And I was like, that show's got a little weird there. But again, folks, if you want to learn more about Steve Currington, go to stevecurrington.com, stevecurrington.com. Other final housekeeping notes. If you want to join us at one of the in-person Thrivetime Show workshops, go to thrivetimeshow.com. You can click on testimonials. You can see thousands of people that we've helped to become millionaires. We've helped thousands of people to become millionaires. You can learn more about that at thrivetimeshow.com. And finally, you can get your tickets to the next in-person workshop at thrivetimeshow.com by clicking on the conferences button. And now, Steve, without any further ado, we're going to end this show with a boom, because success requires the implementation with a big, overwhelming, optimistic momentum. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. This year's sales for this week.
So this is the same week last year. Do you see the difference? Look.
Wait a second, I can't really tell. One is,
look.
Michael, can we just I just want to get it. Jason, can you kind of pull this end maybe, just so you can see it? Let's kind of pull it that way. Let's get the length. It's more of a, I can't tell the length. It's hard to tell.
Look at that. Okay.
So that was last year's sales.
This is last year's sales. And the total is a mere $4,711.73. Same week this year, 2015. The total is, read it, Michael.
$11,313.50.
Oh, boom! There it is.
What?
Awesome.
I baked from home for years as I was raising my children and teaching. And it was there that people continually said year after year, Kat, you really need to go into business. You should open a bakery. And I'm thinking, I don't have time to open a bakery. I'm raising 2 kids. I'm getting my master's degree. Not to mention, I know nothing about business. So here I am. I'm super thrilled. My little bakery is being built in Bixby, and all is well. We move into the new bakery. The excitement is like over the top. And 3 weeks into it, my husband and I separate. Talk about a blow. That was the most difficult thing I had ever experienced to date. I had that blow, and I did have to make a decision. Am I going to be a big girl? Am I going to get better, or am I going to give up? I couldn't give up. I'm a divorced woman. I have to earn a living. And so 18-hour days, bring it on. Let's do this thing. 4 years later, my business partner's husband, Deemer, asked me a question one day. He said, Kat, are you going to continue treating this business like a hobby, or are you going to treat it like a business? That was huge for me. That was super significant in pushing me to get help, pushing me to find a way to make it work. Through several people encouraging me to become a thriver with Thrive 15 was, without question, the pivotal moment in my business. I went from lacking some confidence to becoming empowered through knowledge of how to grow a business. Our sales are 50% plus what they were a year ago. I feel I've regained confidence in myself as an entrepreneur and in my business. Becoming educated through Thrive 15 is what made the difference.
Hi, I'm Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes. I first heard about Clay through a mortgage lender here in town who had told me what a great job he had been doing for them, and I actually noticed he was driving a Lamborghini all of a sudden, so I was willing to listen. In my career, I've sold a little over $800 million in real estate. So honestly, I thought I kind of knew everything about marketing and homes. And then I met Clay, and my perception of what I knew and what I could do definitely changed. After doing $800 million in sales over a 15-year career, I really thought I knew what I was doing. I've been managing a large team of salespeople for the last 10 years here with Shaw Homes. And I mean, we've been a company that's been in business for 35 years. We've become one of the largest builders in the Tulsa area, and that was without Clay. So when I came to know Clay, I really thought, man, there's not much more I need to know, but I'm willing to listen. The interesting thing is our internet leads from our website has actually, in a 4-month period of time, has gone from somewhere around 10 to 15 leads in a month to 180 internet leads in a month. Just from the few things that he's shown us how to implement that I honestly probably never would have come up with on my own. So I got a lot of good things to say about the system that Clay put in place with us, and it's just been an incredible experience. I am very glad that we met and had the opportunity to work with Clay. So the interaction with the team and with Clay on a weekly basis is honestly very enlightening. One of the things that I love about Clay's perspective on things is that he doesn't come from my industry. He's not somebody who's in the home building industry. I've listened to all the experts in my field. Our company has paid for me to go to seminars, international builder shows, all kinds of places where I've had the opportunity to learn from the experts in my industry. But the thing that I found working with Clay is that he comes from such a broad spectrum of working with so many different types of businesses that he has a perspective that's difficult for me to gain because I get so entrenched in what I do, I'm not paying attention to what other leading industry experts are doing. And Clay really brings that perspective for me. It is very valuable time every week when I get that hour with him. From my perspective, the reason that any business owner who's thinking about hooking up with Thrive needs to definitely consider it is because the results that we've gotten in a very short period of time are honestly monumental. It has really exceeded my wildest expectation of what he might be able to do. I came in skeptical because I'm very pragmatic, and as I've gone through the process over just a few months, I've realized it's probably one of the best moves we've ever made. I think a lot of people probably feel like they don't need a business or marketing consultant because they maybe are a little bit prideful and like to think they know everything. I know that's how I felt coming in. I mean, we're a big company that's definitely one of the largest in town. And so we kind of felt like we knew what we were doing. And I think for a lot of people, they let their ego get in the way of listening to somebody that might have a better or different perspective than theirs. I would just really encourage you, if you're thinking about working with Clay, I mean, the thing is, it's month to month. Go give it a try and see what happens. I think in the 35-year history of Shaw Homes, this is probably the best thing that's happened to us. And I know if you give them a shot, I think you'll feel the same way. I know for me, the thing I would have missed out on if I didn't work with Clay is I would have missed out on literally an 1,800% increase in our internet leads. Going from 10 a month to 180 a month, that would have been a huge financial decision to just decide not to give it a shot. I would absolutely recommend Clay Clark to anybody who's thinking about working with somebody in marketing. I would skip over anybody else you were thinking about, and I would go straight to Clay and his team. I guarantee you're not going to regret it, because we sure haven't.
All right, Thrive Nation, check it out. We have our business workshop. Our 2-day interactive business workshop is taking place here February 2nd and 3rd, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. February 2nd and 3rd in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we have just under 35 tickets remaining for this. Now, I know you know me from the Reawaken America tour, and that's what we're doing. But I do business workshops, and I've been doing them for over 10 years. I do them every 2 months. They're very interactive, and we have over 2,000 client success stories that you can see right there if you go to thrivetimeshow.com. This 2-day interactive business workshop is hosted at my office in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's a 2-day interactive how to grow your business workshop where I teach you everything you need to know to start and grow a successful company. I have built several multi-million-dollar companies, and I'm going to teach you how to do it. So if you want to know how to do the marketing, the branding, your accounting, your sales, your workflow, search engine optimization, online ads, everything you need to know, we're going to include that for you. And the way I do the tickets is you can pay $250 for a ticket, or whatever price you want to pay. Why? Because I grew up poor, and I know what that's like to have zero income, but to have big dreams. And having big dreams with no income, I get it. So sometimes you need a help, maybe hand up, not a handout. We're here to give you that hand up. And so at the Thrivetime Show workshop, let me tell you what you get here. You get practical, step-by-step business training. It's a hands-on business workshop. It starts at 7 a.m. and it goes until 3 p.m. From 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day. It's very interactive. It's a 2-day workshop. We're going to teach you how to create businesses, how to launch businesses, how to scale businesses. We're going to teach you the step-by-step systems you need to implement to grow a successful company. We're going to teach you how to everything you need to know, but there's no upsells in the back of the room. And why do I do it? I do it because you deserve it. B, I'm very good at it. And my partner, Dr. Robert Zoellner, and I, between he and I, we've built a lot of successful companies. I've built Oklahoma's largest men's grooming business, independent, privately owned men's grooming business called Elephant in the Room, which that website is eitrlounge.com. My partner, Dr. Robert Zoellner, has built drzoellner.com, the largest independent private optometry clinic. He's built Z66AA.com, Oklahoma's largest auto auction. We've coached up and built up home building businesses, home flipping businesses, gold and silver companies. And let me just show you. If you go to thrivetimeshow.com and you click on the testimonials button, you're going to see over 2,000 testimonials. Look at this. The attorney James from New York, we helped him grow his business by 79.4% last year. The Flyover Conservatives have grown their podcast by 16,000%, which is a large percentage. The Platinum Pest, it's a pest control company. They've grown 411%. Shaw Homes has grown from 16 million to over 160 million in sales. Someone says, you don't have to sell me. I get it. No. I'm going to give you more. These are just testimonials from the past few months. We've got Kirsten White, a home decorator. She's grown a home design and interior design business. She's grown her business dramatically. You've got here Placid Ojoku. He's a personal trainer instructor. He's grown his business dramatically. You got Dan Knapp. It's an affordable insulation company. He's grown it dramatically. Tyler Hallblade, let me tell you his story. He went from a startup to $10 million plus in sales. His company's primotrailers.com. BarbieCookies.com, grown the business dramatically. Joe Burby with Back to Basics Builders. And someone says, no, I don't need any more. No, you need more. We have over 2,000 testimonials. So you can get those tickets by going to thrivetimeshow.com. It's thrivetimeshow.com. And you click on the conferences button. And once you click that button right there, boom, you can see where you can request tickets. And these events take place in Tulsa, Oklahoma at my home office. So again, get those tickets at thrivetimeshow.com. My name's Clay Clark. After I finish connecting with you, speaking with you, I'm going to share with you a brief little commercial so you can see more about the interactive 2-day Thrivetime Show workshops. Again, we have just under 40 tickets remaining for that. It's going to be Tulsa, Oklahoma on February 2nd and 3rd, where my very good friend, John Lee Dumas, the host of one of the largest podcasts in the world, he'll be attending this event as well. It's the EO Fire podcast. That's John Lee Dumas, my very good friend, John Lee Dumas. I've been on his show, I think 8 times, 9 times. This guy, John Lee Dumas, let me tell you, he has a podcast, and on the top right of his website, he actually tracks how much profit he's made for the month. This month alone, this man has generated $182,000 of income this month with his podcast, and he'll be speaking at the in-person Thrivetime Show workshop we have coming up in February, and then November 10th and 11th, we have the 2-day interactive workshop. And we have the way the workshop works is we kick off at 7 a.m., and then at 7:40, we take our first break, and then we open it up for questions. And then we do another session at 8, and then we open it up for questions, and then 9 and more questions. So you're getting over 15 hours of interactive training. We serve lunch both days, and you get to come to my office right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I would say a little over 90% of the attendees are not from Tulsa, Oklahoma. You're going to have a blasty blast. My name's Clay Clark. I'm fired up to meet you. Get those tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com, thrivetimeshow.com. I know it costs money to get to these events, but you can name your price. We want to make it affordable for you. You can get those tickets at thrivetimeshow.com.
The Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zoellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, but I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zoellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.